Good morning, everyone. I'm Dana J. Smithers, a certified emotion code practitioner, and you are watching the live certified emotion code divas show. So we are going to get started in just a moment, but it's an interesting topic that we have today. We're on episode 59, and the month of February has been dedicated and devoted to relationships. So each month we have a theme. Our purpose of this show is to educate, inspire, and to heal and release trapped emotions for a viewer. So I will be working on a viewer today. But what we're talking about also is what's called neuro-linguistic programming, or we like to shorten it to NLP. And when I was thinking about this show and what Helene and I were going to talk about, I thought, isn't it interesting now how even 5 years ago we did communicate differently? Now, there's a particular style that is more dominant for each of us. There's visual. Some people communicate better with visuals. Some are more auditory. They like to be spoken to. Some are very kinesthetic. They're all about the feelings. And then there's the digitals. Just want the facts, ma'am. But what I thought about today, what's so interesting is so many people have gone to texting. Whereas we used to pick up the phone. Exactly, exactly. It's unfortunately one of the first things I do in the morning as well as my husband. I go, "Hello, husband," right? Like, did you put the phone down, right? But he's getting a text or someone's emailing him. So most of the phone calls, most people, unless they have that style of auditory, aren't even going to go and check the phone message. We'll just go right back, phone the person and ask, what did you want? Or we will text them. So things are shifting because of that. But Helena is going to talk about how you can have a better relationship with someone once you understand what their particular communication style is. So that's going to be the education piece today, and I'm excited to be working on a viewer. I'll give you a little bit of information about her in just a few minutes. But as Helena and I like to do because we have a lot of first-time viewers, we're going to step into doing the keys, the process that we go through when we do an emotion code. We are both certified by Dr. Bradley Nelson. This is his book. New book is coming out in May. You can order it. I've got it ordered. Tony Robbins has done the forward to it. So Tony Robbins has been very interested in the emotion code. So if you are thinking about becoming an emotion code practitioner, contact Helena or I, because with his program, there are also affiliate fees, which is great, but Helena and I will help you through the program as well. Um, if there's things that you don't know, questions that you have when you're doing it, we're happy to connect with you on that. So that's a little bit about me, certified emotion code practitioner. I'm also a law of attraction abundance mentor, and I help guide people through a program called Discover Your Sacred Gifts. If you're in transition or a little bit sure about what you need to be doing in life and who am I and what am I good at, it's a great program to walk you through. So that's a bit about me. Let's go on to my partner in crime, Helena Jenikin.
Hello, everyone. My name is Helena Jenikin, and I am a certified clinical hypnotherapist as well as a certified emotion code practitioner. I love to help men and women release excess weight, become free of fears and phobias, and also stop smoking. I just noticed that my description there with my name and my website is thestopsmokinglady.com. And there's a bit more information there because I've actually put together a stop smoking program for emotion code practitioners. And it involves hypnosis and the emotion code. But Dana, I'm excited to talk about NLP today because I use NLP with all my clients.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So just to let you know, Helena and I are going to be doing a special episode on this new emotion code stop smoking protocol that Helena has created. So we're going to be doing that in March. So stay tuned. We'll have a graphic up. We'll make an announcement about it as well. But if you're interested in that, it would definitely be worth watching it. Although of course it will be recorded as well. But when the shows are live, you can also put your comments in, or if you have questions about something that we're saying, we can take a look at it and answer them for you right while we're live. So I'll just say hello to a few people that are watching anyway. Helena, Gail Baines,
Mm-hmm.
Natasha, Paula, Samuel from Rumford, Essex, always giving us a weather report. Lovely sunny day. Helena and I both have a pretty nice day here where we live. Jacqueline Haley says hi, so we'll say hi to her as well. So Helena, let's go ahead and jump into the keys, the way that we conduct a session, and how I'll be doing the one today with Darcy as well. So first of all, I have had to ask for Darcy's permission.
For permission, that's right, because ethically we can't work on anyone that hasn't given us their permission. And so that means that I'd love to work on my neighbors or the person on the street that I see somewhere at a mall or a store or something like that, but I don't have their permission, so I can't work with them. However, we can get the parents' permission to work on a minor child and or their animals.
All right, and we do that by way of becoming what's called their proxy.
Their proxy. So when we have their permission, we're actually asking permission to tap into their subconscious part of their mind, where all the answers are stored. That subconscious mind is a supercomputer. And now we're able to ask on behalf of the client yes or no questions about if there are any trapped emotions that we can be releasing today.
Exactly, and so that's what I will be doing. But another question that we have to ask our client, or even if you're working on yourself, we ask the question, what is the severity based on a 1 to 10? And this is an interesting one. My client today has actually said it's a 10. So I will be checking in once I get connected with her to find out whether or not it is a 10. And Helena, when someone says, well, it might be a 2 or a 3, what are we likely to think about that?
We're likely to ask them to choose again, choose something else that's more pressing. A 2 or a 3 there's no intensity, there's no emotional intensity there. So we like to work on clients that have issues at around a 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10.
Yeah, and also too, we will tap into that subconscious just to check on what level of severity is there as well. And so once we have tapped into that, the way that we're going to release these trapped emotions is by doing what's called muscle testing.
That's right, muscle testing. So muscle testing is a way for the subconscious mind to give answers, yes or no answers. And some people, when you're in their working with them one-on-one, their arm and they'll press down here for a yes and then it goes down for a no. But since we're not doing this in person, we're doing this over video most of the time, is my subconscious and I have an agreement that when I link these two fingers together like this and I think of the word yes, it goes like this, it gets stuck. And when I think of the word no, they just pull apart.
Right.
Deanna, that you have a different method.
Yeah, mine's a little bit different. Dr. Brad's got lots of different techniques in there. Mine is index finger and thumb together, and then my middle and index finger over here, and that's a yes for me, and that's a no. And if you're just learning emotion code or even doing it on yourself, there's no need to put any pressure on things. If you're putting a lot of pressure on, that's really not, your fingers are going to get tired, especially if you're doing a lot of sessions. Also, with the muscle testing, when a person is there and we're testing the arm, when I first started, so if we have some people that are just starting out learning emotion code, my first person that I did in person with, I had her do that. And so after about 10 minutes, I mean, the arm was so tired. It was like, okay, I'm not getting any right answers in here. So I realized that's a good test if you have someone, just to see if they are what Dr. Brad calls muscle testable, right? So you're going to be pressing on that arm and doing it. But since we're the proxy and we tap into that person's subconscious with their permission, we just do it this way and it's very, very quick. So what are we actually testing for, Helena?
We're testing for negative trapped emotions in the physical body. So those are emotions that are unprocessed, that just got squashed down, pushed down into the physical system. And when we're using a muscle testing, we're using this chart here, the emotion code chart. And the emotion code chart has 60 negative emotions on there, divided into 2 columns and 6 rows. And so when Dan and I are working, we'll be asking, is there a negative trapped emotion that we can release in column A or B? And is it in an odd row or an even row? And then we'll come up to a cell of 5 different emotions, and those emotions then we can ask individually, is it this one, this one, this one, or oh, it's that one? And then can we release it?
Exactly. And how we're going to release that is through using a magnet.
Magnets, that's right. My magnets, we tend to use hematite magnets, and all different sizes and shapes, but they're very strong. And what you'll see us do is wipe down over the governing meridian. Now, the governing meridian is an energy line. It's a meridian that the ancient Chinese have mapped out throughout our bodies. We have many of them. And the main one starts underneath the nose and goes to the top of the tailbone. So when we identify the emotion, it pops out of the physical system into our energetic system, and then we can use magnets to intensify our intention to release the negative emotion, cancel it and delete it and let it go away so it doesn't go back into the physical system.
Exactly. And even when we are doing a session, we may have the same emotion comes up a few times. So what Helena was talking about just a minute ago was that unless we release these trapped emotions, which are all energy pockets in our body, they will get triggered and triggered. And this is where diseases come from, right? If we don't remove these, if we fail to recognize that, oh, I keep getting angry about something, or I'm so sad about something, that you haven't released those emotions and they're just building up and building up and building up. So that's our job as an emotion code practitioners, is to release that. And when Helena's talking about the energy and the energy flowing, something that we all need to do and is one of the most important things that any emotion code practitioner can do, and we ask our clients to do it as well, and that is to stay
Hydrated.
Hydrated, exactly.
I'm going to take a sip of water. Cheers, Dana.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, so that hydration is very important for the practitioner. I find our clients are also drinking more water. Water allows that energy to move through the physical system and the emotions to be released, so that whatever issue that we're working on can be cleared even faster.
Exactly. Helena, do you want to say hello to a few people? I see somebody. Hashtag
Yes.
Alaska Misty.
Hello, Misty Anderson. Great to see you.
I've been following Misty and her art. Misty, I think your Facebook page is just Misty Anderson, but take a look at the art that she and her daughter are doing. I didn't know that you were such an artist, Misty, but it's really beautiful stuff. And Misty says she's not at work today, but I don't know if Misty sells her art or not. But Misty, you might want to, we like to promote other entrepreneurs, right? This is what our life is all about, healing those emotions so we can keep doing what we do best, right? So
there's also my brother from Colorado is watching, and he's asking, does coffee count? Coffee, if you want to get rid of coffee out of your diet, you can just have a session and coffee would be gone. I know that I used the emotion code to get rid of Tim Hortons extra large hot chocolates.
I think that's your brother, right?
Yeah.
I think he's being facetious, saying, does drinking coffee work just as well as water?
Michael. Well, there is water in coffee. Unfortunately, coffee it dehydrates your system as well and dehydrates your skin and
yeah, really, it really does wreck your skin. If you're feeling your skin is really tight, do some exfoliating and do a mask or whatever, but drink lots of water because that's what's going to help. Lena, I'm going to go ahead and get working on our viewer today. And hey, shout out to Kelly Mae Glover. Hey, Kelly Mae, I do think about you and our beautiful friend, Cian, who's on another Earth, not Earth plane, but another plane right now. Yeah, I think we could hashtag Cian on that one, Kelly May. Hashtag love to Cian, whoever Cian is, her beautiful dog. So I'm going to be working on a woman. I just met her the other day, and her name is Darcy. And we just were very attracted to each other. And I asked her permission to work on her with regard to relationship. She's been divorced about a year and 5 days, actually, is what it would be now. Yeah, she had a 12-year marriage, and they have 4 boys. So she's just going through stuff that happens, even though she did want the divorce and she was the one that went forward with it. You know that there is a lot of grieving. Helene and I have done a special episode on that, but I actually did a special episode on grieving with a grief counselor. So just check out our Facebook page and you'll find that special episode. So what I'm going to do is work on Darcy just to release some of these trapped emotions, see what is still trapped there. Are there trapped emotions that will help her just feel more comfortable around any relationship that she still has to do with her husband because of the 4 boys? So I'm going to go and I'm just going to unplug, and Helena is going to talk about NLP and how important it is to know not only your communication style, but the people that you are having to communicate with, whether it's family, colleagues, clients, whatever. So I'm going to unplug, and away you go, Helena.
Okay, thank you. So NLP, Neuro Linguistic Programming, a basis of this is that there are 4 different communication styles. And the communication styles are either visual, auditory, kinesthetic, or digital. Mm-hmm. And each one of these styles has a particular way of communicating and understanding as well. And if you're not familiar with that person's communication style and it's not your own and you're not comfortable, that's a lot of times why the miscommunication happens. Well, you'll be saying one thing and the other person says something and both of you don't understand what's going on. You don't feel heard, you don't feel connected. So today I'm going to be talking about the common words that each of these styles use. And when you are wanting to support someone, what words to use. And also a quick way through email to identify what kind of communication style this person is. And also very important is the words or the things that you do that annoy that other person's that is not your communication style. So first of all, the visual. The person who is visual likes to see the big picture. They like to use the word see. View. They like the word overview. Show me. Is that clear? Are you clear? Sounds kind of fuzzy. Oh, I'm looking forward to it. And most of all, how does this look so far? So are you getting the picture? Now, if you were a visual style person, then getting the picture, you would understand what I'm saying. But if you're an auditory style, you never heard just what I said. You didn't hear it. It didn't resonate with you. It didn't kind of click with you. But you might notice that you're saying certain words all the time, like the word resonate and clear and that sounds good, things like that. Now, for the kinesthetic viewer that's right now watching us, I know that you're excited to learn about these tips, and you can tell that it's going to be a good fit for you going forward and create a great connection. You like to touch base with people and ask them if they're getting the grasp. So are you grasping what I'm communicating, and are you comfortable with that? Now, the digital person likes to hear things in sequential orders, step by step. They like to make checklists. They like to check off those checklists. They like everything to be summed up in a nice, tidy way. And they like to be asked, so what are your thoughts? And that digital person, when they give you their thoughts, they'll tend to be very precise, very short, and very to the point. Now, when you are wanting to support or connect with the other person, the other communication style, for the visuals, please provide them visuals. give them updates and summarize and a status report. Lots of visuals are really great. And for the auditory person, like the person who's calling me right now, will just decline, is that they love to hear praise. They love to hear the words great ideas. Um, and they also find it, they need a plan. They find it hard to stay on track, so they love plans. And they like to be acknowledged. They like to hear their own name. They like to be acknowledged for the work that they've done or even that they've communicated. Now, the kinesthetic person, they um, they like to talk about their personal life, and they actually want to hear about your personal life. They're the touchy-feely kind of people. They like to have sessions or work or see people in person. They love to get together for a coffee, a quick lunch, or just hang out together in person. And they like to use the words like, "How can I support you?" And so you can use the words also, "How can I support you?" Now, for that digital logical person, please do things in sequence, step by step. Provide them the checklist and also ask them, "I'd like to know what you think about this." So that visual person wants to give you a big picture and maybe even draw you a picture or give you a picture of the idea. The auditory person, they want to be acknowledged, and that kinesthetic person wants to get together or just feel supported or give support. Now, how can you tell what kind of style that you're working with or in a relationship with? Well, they'll tend to say, or they'll in an email, it's fantastic. Emails are great. They tell you a lot about the person. So that visual person will tend to type something like, "See you later," or "See you soon." They might even say that, "See you soon." And the auditory person may type at the bottom of their emails, "Talk to you soon. Nice chatting with you." And when you're in person, they'll say the same thing, "Talk to you soon. Nice chatting with you." Or if they're on the phone, "Talk to you soon. Nice chatting with you." And when you're on the phone with a visual person, they'll even say, "See you later." Now, the kinesthetic person it's all about connection. They want the touchy-feely ones. So I tend to notice my kinesthetic friends and clients, they'll end their emails like hugs. And the digital person is just goodbye, bye. They just end the conversation. It's very formal. It's just complete. Now, to understand what annoys the other person, the other style, is very important, especially if you're in a relationship with this person and they're not your style. So the visual person likes they like calendars and they like pictures. And they can talk really, really, really fast. The auditory person really doesn't like bluntness. They need to be heard, so you need to give them time to express what they're in their mind. They need to hear themselves with the words that come out there. They they like to stay on track and finish a topic without jumping to the next topic. And the kinesthetic person, they they like lots of touchy-feely and hugs, and they like to stand close talking to that person, and they love icebreakers and to get to know people. So they're the ones at the conferences or the seminars when the group is kind of coming together and gelling. They'll be the ones there at the networking seminars or networking meetings really early and kind of going around and making sure everyone's feeling comfortable. Now that digital person, they're not spontaneous. They're actually come across as they don't volunteer info. Gotta ask them for the information, and they're very much like ask but don't tell. And so if someone asks them a question, they'll give the information. But never just think that they're going to volunteer the information. They're logical. They're digital. Did you ask a question? Was it very specific? Was it one question or was it a lot? And they they're wonderful people. I love the digital logical. I had a father who was an engineer. He's very logical, very methodical, And he was very much in his own world, and he didn't have a lot of chit chat. And then I had also siblings that are, I'm more of a visual person. I like to see the big picture. And my mother, who was a chemist or is a chemist, she's very logical. She loves books, but she's also very visual. So she likes to write things out and see it in front of her. And then she's also auditory. So she liked to talk a lot, and she's also very kinesthetic. So she always gave lots of hugs and liked to get close and touchy to people. But because she still has that chemistry background, she sometimes would just end a conversation.
Mm.
So we're never just one style. We're often we have a dominant style that we prefer, but the world is made up of those four different styles. And if we want to interact in the world and connect with people around us, then it's in our own best interest to understand other people's styles and use the words, the techniques to reach out and communicate with them. Dana.
Thanks, Helena. That's just so important. And also, with your emotion code work as well, it's important. And if you are an emotion code practitioner and you're doing some talks or speaking engagements, you really want to be aware of those four communication styles, because that is how you're going to connect with your audience. If you're only using one, you're only going to get 25% of the audience's attention. So it's important to be able to incorporate all of those. So I've done what I can right now with Darcy, and I actually do have another emotion code session with her. So I'll be going on with that, and I'll explain what came up with that. So we started with the 10, and I got it down to a 1. Lots of emotions, lots of psychic trauma. So when someone has psychic trauma, it's actually two emotions trapped together. So it can even cause more pain. Once those two emotions get triggered, they can get bigger and bigger and bigger, and just cause you more and more distress. And as I said earlier, this is how disease is caused, right? One of the ways is from these emotions, which more and more we're getting scientific evidence to show that in fact is the case. So I'll just go through some of the emotions that I released from Darcy, but I asked the question, are there any trapped emotions that when released will allow Darcy to have a better relationship with her ex-husband at this time? And so the first emotion that psychic trauma one that came up was betrayal and despair. So these are the emotions that came up for Darcy are not uncommon when there is a split up in a relationship. Everybody is going to feel different. Whether or not you wanted it or you instigated it doesn't matter. There's still lots of feelings because it's really part of that grieving process that happens, right? The loss of hopes and dreams when you're breaking up with someone or things are not going well. A lot of people are grieving in their marriage because they know it's not working. And so those trapped emotions are there, but when you finalize things more, then all of those emotions may get buried for a while, or they may just come to the surface and you may just explode. So other emotions that she had that I released were defensiveness, effort unreceived, anger, the trapped emotion of failure, another psychic trauma of shame and shock. And then shock also came up on its own. Vulnerability, another psychic trauma, two together, lack of control and low self-esteem. And then pride came up. And because I'm having another session with Darcy, what sort of came to me and what the download was I needed to work more on this feeling of feeling worthless, low self-esteem, and also work on some of the relationships with her sons. So she's got 4 boys. That's a big family. So I'm going to, when Darcy and I connect again and I do a session with her, I'm going to work on that. So I know that I could have gone on and on with her, but just because of time, we'll just wrap it up right now. But regardless of how long Helene and I take with releasing these trapped emotions, they do have a big impact. And when someone is going to process the releasing that happens, it can be anything from, it can be tears, it can be a feeling of lightness. Oh, that I just feel like something was lifted from me, right? So, we often advise people, do whatever feels right to you. If you need to take a nap, lie down, cry, have a coffee, if that's, or tea, if that's comfort for you, go ahead and do that. Or I always like to get out in nature because I find there's a lot more peace out there and there's not so much energy going on from other people or comments or their opinions or whatever. Sometimes we just need to be in that silence. So Helena, we've got some other viewers watching as well.
Hmm. I think so. You're maybe seeing something different than
Okay.
me.
Yeah,
Oh,
so if
I
you,
think Leslie Marshall joined us too. And Sylvia Bellini. Hello, Sylvia.
Sylvia Bolini, did you give us a weather report? I don't see her on my phone.
Not yet. Not yet.
Okay,
Actually, we're
Missy.
having
Yeah.
quite the stormy couple of days here on Vancouver Island. It's
Oh, really? Maybe that's why the internet is a little bit.
I think so. It's actually,
Oh,
I'm quite surprised the power is on.
oh, really? Okay, we're not having that here. Huh? Good. Okay. Well, at least we got the show done. So shout out to um yeah, to Misty and Kelly May and yeah, I did not paint that, Misty. I saw it, I loved it, but I have to tell you, I have added a little bit of paint colors and a little bit of strokes and things here and there
Oh,
because I
wow.
wanted it to have more all of the chakras in it. So yeah, I could be. I'm going to Italy in September, so I could get inspired to take some of the picture to maybe paint some of the pictures that I take there. It's kind of a dormant talent in me right now. Have to be very creative, but Misty's got some beautiful paintings. I've been watching that in a series that she's doing. So, Helena, anything else? Kelly May saying she's on the island as well. Windy and snow. What?
Yeah. Oh, snow
What?
forecasted for later for tomorrow morning?
We don't.
Oh, no.
I'm done with this, quite frankly. Although I was doing Sacred Gifts Guide training yesterday, and so several of the gals are from Calgary. So I was talking about, oh, it's really cold here in Vancouver. It was like, I don't know, 4 degrees or something, right? And they go, minus 30. And that's without the chill factor. It's like, whoa, no, thank you, people.
Yeah, actually, and Leslie Marshall is saying it's snowing in Oregon right now. Glad that you found that the NLP information was so interesting. And I do know that Michael Lozier has a fantastic book on NLP communications. You can get it on Amazon.
Yeah, that's right. I have that book.
Yeah.
Sylvia's just checking in with us. Unseasonably warm weather in London. How very nice, because usually what's going on in London is a lot of what goes on in Vancouver. So I'm looking forward to that. I know that we had some of our daffodils started up like about 3 weeks ago, and then we got a bit of snow, but they'll be back. Spring's on its way. All right, Helena, how
Amazing.
can people get a hold of you?
Excellent. So people can get a hold of me through flourishhypnosis.com if you're interested in learning more about the emotion code and all the different packages I offer for different things. You can just type in flourishhypnosis.com/emotion code. I have a Facebook page, Flourish Hypnosis, a YouTube channel, Flourish Hypnosis. I'm all over the place. You can
Yeah.
find me everywhere.
Yeah, and the Stop Smoking Lady is
And
right
the Stop
there.
Smoking Lady.
Yeah. Oh, okay. And you can find me at Empowered Women in Business / empoweredwomeninbusiness.com / emotion hyphen code. I do love working with people going through difficult times in their relationships or people in transition. I also do love working with animals. I've been working with some animals from the SPCA. I've been working with some sometimes people just put a post up on Facebook and I'll just ask them if they'd like me to do an emotion code for their dog or their cat or whatever. And I'm always happy to do that. And I very much enjoy doing it. Even if I just do it because I can feel compelled to do it. I often don't charge people especially if I see an animal that might need something, or if I am working with an animal I will generally give you more sessions than really what you've signed up for, just because I want to help that animal and you through whatever it is you're going through. So that's it from the Emotion Code Divas. Next week, oh, Helena, we're going into a new month. And for March, it's about a healthy lifestyle. So we are looking for someone that has resistance to exercise and who would like to release those emotions that are blocking them from getting the exercise that they need. So if that's you, please let us know, because we're always looking for a viewer. We'll do what we did today with that person. So please share. We're looking for, we really want to get our message out there that this is a non-invasive way to help you move on in life, because being human, there's a million things going on in our life that can block us in coming from every which direction. But there are ways that we can help you get through that, and certainly with Helena's hypnosis as well. I do a few other things, so we always are wanting to make you healthier, happier, more abundant in your life. And, by you taking care of yourself, we change the world. So that's what we need to do. That's the mission right now. All right. Bye for now.